Hello. Today I want to talk about ways to prevent breast cancer. Obviously, there are no guarantees, right? But it's much more helpful to know some ways that you can help protect yourself and have a lower risk. Because I think a lot of times here in America, we try to find disease and we don't really focus on preventing disease and cancer. And I think there's a lot of preventative measures that you can take, but most of us are just not educated in this area. You shouldn't have to live life scared that you might wake up one day with cancer or disease, okay? So for example, I have a mild case of rheumatoid arthritis. My number's at the very lowest end. This starts at 14. It could go up to 300 or 400. I'm right at 14. And the reason I got that, I always like to find out the reason why too, not just say, oh, I got something, I don't know why. Well, low vitamin D and having some type of virus. Many years ago, I went through a lot of chronic stress. My vitamin D got really low and I contracted Epstein-Barr, which triggered autoimmune disease in my body. It also didn't help much that I was eating loads of sugar, junk food, and running and racing a lot, very hardcore. And so I had tons of inflammation in my body. So it's always good to get to the root cause. And then if you do get a disease, well, let's try to knock it out or keep it at the lowest level possible. But today I want to talk about helping to prevent breast cancer. There are three main areas you want to focus on. That would be D3 or hydroxy D3 on a medical blood test, your vitamin D3, which is actually a hormone, very, very important in many different areas of health and your body. For example, it can help protect you from certain types of cancers, like breast cancer being one of them. And it can help protect you from different types of viruses, other illnesses. It helps with mood, sleep, immune system, helps you absorb calcium. It does so many different things, hormones. And so that is one you don't want to be low in, but most people are. And the medical ranges are between 30 and 100. And those ranges are really not for optimal health, because even if you get up to 90, they'll say, oh, you're getting too high, you need to cut down. Really, you should be between about a 65 to 90. If you've ever had cancer or currently do, you want to get that up in the 80s or 90s. It's a great fighter for you. And you won't get sick as often too if your vitamin D is really good. And so you want to request a hydroxy D3 test with your medical doctor. And then if you are low, let's say you're a 20, oftentimes they'll prescribe you a synthetic D2. I would suggest taking the natural form of D3 and never take vitamin D alone. You always want to take it with vitamin A and vitamin K, because vitamin A helps you assimilate D3. You can also get this in cod liver oil, which is the best source of vitamin A out there and the most absorbable. That even helps you absorb your vitamin D better. And then vitamin D helps you absorb calcium, and K puts it into the bones. If you're just taking a lot of vitamin D without the K, then you could start storing calcium in your joints or arteries where it should not be. We want it in the bones. You can also eat fermented cabbage like sauerkraut. Gouda cheese and egg yolk runny have some of that K in there as well. But it's good to supplement with the D and K together. So keep your D3 up. And also another cause is estrogen. Not your normal healthy estrogen that we need to make for health, right? But it's the xenoestrogens, those toxic estrogens that cause a lot of these breast cancers. Most breast cancers are estrogen dominant, but they're environmental and lifestyle related. So we do have a lot of toxins and pollutants in our environment that we cannot escape. That's why it's so important to pay attention what you're eating, what you're putting in your mouth, and things that you can control. Exercise, drinking clean, real water, eating real, nutritious, organic foods. Because when you eat a lot of sugar, that increases bad estrogen. And signs of that would be if you've already gone through menopause, like hot flashes, having difficulty going through menopause. That usually is a sign of high unhealthy estrogen. Like I said, the xenoestrogens, your natural estrogen is going to drop lower as you go through menopause, but those xenoestrogens can go through the roof, even starting at very young ages. That's why we see a lot of little girls at ages 8, 9, 10 already starting their monthly cycles, developing breasts. That's a little too early. Men get man boobs, lose a lot of their testosterone. Those are all from xenoestrogens. Chronic stress will do that. Fast food, junk food, seed oils, loads of sugar, all that creates those xenoestrogens. Women will have heavier monthly cycles, clotting, cysts, ovarian cysts or fibroids. Those are all telltale signs that you are creating bad estrogen, and that puts you at higher risk for breast cancer. And then when your vitamin D is low, even more risk. And then sugar is another big culprit of breast cancer, simply because it harms your mitochondria. And when your mitochondria is not working well, you are at a higher risk of breast cancer or any type of cancer. And high sugar creates high unhealthy estrogen. So it all goes together. It's not just one piece. And that's why it's so important. Mitochondria, the energy cells of your body, when they remain healthy and strong, you're more energetic, you age slower, and you're less likely to develop disease or cancer. And you can actually Google that. If you don't know about mitochondria, you need to learn. Very, very important. So let's find ways to protect ourselves instead of just finding cancer. Let's try to prevent cancer. And if you do have some issues, like you're loaded with sugar, candida, and you need a detox, then there's some things you can do. I really love Candida Balance by Global Healing Center. I like D3 Balance brand by Restorative Formulas, and you would probably need about 10,000 IU daily of D3 if your number is, let's say, 40 or under. And then you want the cofactors like the A, the K, and the magnesium. And when you do that, you can't really create a toxicity. But if you take D3 alone or a synthetic D2, or you're low in magnesium and you're not getting the K, you can form a toxicity if you get the D number too high. So make sure you take it the right way, because it is so, so important. And then another cause of cancer can be also environmental, or if you don't have good detoxification pathways. So let's say you're exposed to mold or some toxin or poison, and your body doesn't have genetically good pathways to detoxify. Some people are born like that, or they just get overburdened, or they have some injury from a vaccine or medication or something. You can usually know, because if you do try to start detoxing, then like your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, or, after a few days or a week, you're still having a horrible headache and you feel just sick. And I know when I first detoxed from candida overgrowth, I kind of felt like I had the touch of the flu for a few days to a week, and then it cleared up and I started feeling better. But if you really want to know for sure if you have good detoxification pathways, you need to do an organic acid test, and that will let you know. That's through Mosaic Labs, and I'm finding about for at least 40% of the people I test do not have healthy, optimal detoxification pathways. And if that's you, you want to take some kind of binder to help pull out toxins, like with charcoal, bentonite clay, chlorella. Kodich brand is really good, called Binder Plus. But all these factors are very, very important. You really need to understand about your body, your health, how everything works, and once again, how to protect yourself. That's the key. And getting to root causes. All right, everyone, have a great day.